One man is being victimized by our own government. One man whom they fear, yet whom millions love. One man who is willing to take the poison arrows of lawfare. One man whose voice has been taken away by a corrupt judge operating in a corrupt system. One man who has been ridiculed and insulted. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who stands between us and them. One man that wants to see America protected again. One man who wants to see America prosper again. One man who understands that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. One man who understands and protects the blessing of life. One man who wants to restore American exceptionalism. One man who once again wants to make America that shining city on a hill for all to see. A place where all the people of the world glowingly set their eyes upon. America. One man who unashamedly wants to make America great again. That one man is Donald Trump.
This is Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
When was America great? At the turn of the century, our economy was rocking. This is 1900, 125 years ago. We had no income tax. And all we had was tariffs. All we had was tariffs. And we had so much money that we had the greatest businessmen of America get together to try to figure out how to spend it. That's who we were then.
Meanwhile,
Just breaking moments ago, more than $200 billion coming into the coffers in tariffs, and now we're learning where some of that money will go. The White House has just announced that the Women and Children Food Program will not be cut off while the government is shut down. Some of the money will go to make sure that that program is kept up and running, according to White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
You guys remember back when Howard Lutnick made that great speech at Madison Square Garden, where he said very emphatically, when were we great again? When was America great? Back then, we didn't have any income tax, and we were rich because we had tariffs. Well, I'm pretty sure it looks as though the Democrats stepped into another giant bear trap. A bear trap of epic proportions. See, I think one of the calculations that Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries made was that people were going to lose their WIC, the women and infant children, and getting their food to help the people who can't afford to feed their own kids for whatever reason. And I think they thought that, here's what's going to happen. That money is going to run out, and then people are going to freak out because they can't feed their kids. And I think they counted on it. I think they said, let's hold off. Let's not do any deal with President Trump until after this thing expires. And then after this thing expires, people will see how bad President Trump really is. He's an awful guy. He's going to let kids, infants, starve. He wants to help billionaires. And then he pulled another arrow out of his quiver that these people didn't see coming. He has been telling everybody, he's been telling you, he's been telling me, we got so much money left over from these tariffs. People keep calling me and saying, where's all this money? And he's like, it's from the tariffs, idiots. And he's been saying that in speech after speech, and people just didn't pay any attention to it. And then today, right before it expired, right before they went completely bust and wouldn't be able to pay anybody, he just goes, I have a way we can pay these people. We can use tariff money and get all these people funded, and they'll get all their benefits. And then you know what? Next month, we're going to get a whole bunch more in tariffs. See, President Trump is using these tariffs in a way to educate you. Most people don't understand tariffs. Most people, because the media and everybody else has been saying they were bad, the only way you're supposed to find out, because people didn't listen, even on the right. People didn't listen. Howard Lutnick, we were so rich. We didn't have no income tax, and we were so rich. And I've made that voice a couple times over the last year, and people have laughed. And I've waited. And I kept wondering to myself, why does he keep telling everybody there's this huge surplus of money? And people just kept going, paid no attention to it. Now you know why. You see, it's harder to tell people, but it becomes easier when you can show people. I don't know how you learn, but most people learn by instruction where it can be demonstrative. Show me. Show me how to do this. Just telling me doesn't help me. And so what he just did, which I'm sure the media will quickly quiet up. So now you know what you've got to be doing over the next 24 hours. Banging out to all those people in the workplace, all those people in your family. Oh, he's going to hurt family. People won't be able to eat. How about you just say thank you? Because now you have learned the value of tariffs. It was this otherworldly thing. When he would come out, yeah, we just got another $100 billion, nobody would react. Maybe you didn't even react. It was such a big number, most people couldn't consume it. They couldn't put their arms around it. So what? The government got another $150 billion this week. Why do I care? XYZ company has agreed to spend $200 trillion over the next 4 years. What do I care? Today, you should care. Today, you had something demonstrable happen that not a lot of people talked about. That happened after my first show at about 3 p.m., 3:30. And I was typing and getting done with the after party, and I went literally, excuse my language, oh shit. And I turned and watched as Martha MacCallum was talking about it. And it was a 25-second blip, and that was it. And then I've searched X. You're welcome to search X and see how many people are talking about it. Nobody's talking about it. Oops, excuse me, that's my doggy gate out there. Nobody is talking about it. Why is nobody talking about it? Because they just got shocked. The same way right now you should be shocked, and you should now realize this has been the plan all along. Howard Lutnick said that at the New York Madison Square Garden rally. Everybody cheered about the no income tax part, but they didn't listen to the part where he said, we were so rich because of tariffs. And so now all these people who are in unfortunate positions, who rely on the government for money, who rely on the government to pay their food bills, for whatever reason, we won't go into that tonight. They all now know the Democrats didn't even control that. So what's he going to do next? I don't know. Maybe it's the air traffic controllers. Maybe it's the military. I guarantee you something's coming next, because you have to show people in order for them to understand. And so right now, every single one of you watching, you can go start searching about all this information I just said to you, and you are now going to realize, oh crap, I never saw that coming. And on a daily basis, it seems, we have this kind of conversation. Oh, we didn't see this coming. We didn't see that coming. We didn't see that the FBI was doing this and the CIA was doing that. And then tomorrow we've got the big Comey indictment where he's got to walk into court. And everybody is looking at the here and now, and nobody's paying attention to the long game. With this guy as president, you need to start your focus on being in the long game. I'm telling you, you got to do it. You know, one of the things that happened today that I posted about on X was gold hit an all-time high and broke 4,000, and people are amazed. And I just put, somebody, it would be interesting if somebody had been telling us that for some time. Not because I had an inside knowledge, not because, I got lucky. It's because I could read the tea leaves. If you understand what the tariffs are doing, if you understand what the rest of the world is doing, and you see Carney coming in today, and he's basically kissing the ring, and you see all these other world leaders come in, and you know what's happening in Israel and Hamas and all this kind of stuff, it's not hard to start charting your future and understanding where the puck is going to be. And one of the things that I was hesitant myself about was I understood where President Trump wanted to take things. I could see it. I'm like, oh, this is going to be awesome. The one thing I didn't even realize, and literally had to take a leap of faith when I started buying gold and silver and talking to the people at Lear, what I had to do is just, all right, I'm pretty sure he knows what he's doing. What I didn't count on, that he would render the Democrats completely powerless. That they can't do anything to stop him at this point. Not even shutting down the government. None of it's working. Telling this low-level judges to tell him he can't go here and he can't go there. I got to bring in this video real quick. SV just sent it to me. And it's Kristi Noem, I believe. She actually gave the mayor and governor in Portland an ultimatum. And she delivered an ultimatum to the government in Portland, Oregon, while she's out there. Let's listen in. Hopefully I get the volume correct.
I met with him and also the superintendent of the state police. I told them what we wanted. We wanted more security here at the building, a bigger buffer zone to keep our officers safe. We wanted to have their streets opened up again and not let the anarchists run this city anymore, that we would ask them to continue to back us up like we've been asking for instead of what they've been doing the last several months, which is just leaving our officers hang out to dry. The chief asked if I wanted to meet with the mayor, and I said absolutely. Came back and just met with the mayor, and I'm so extremely disappointed. He's continuing to play politics, did not commit to any of those promises, and said that he'd give me an answer by tomorrow, and I'm hopeful that he will. What I told him is that if he did not follow through on some of these security measures for our officers, we were going to cover him up with more federal resources, and that we were going to send 4 times the amount of federal officers here so that the people of Portland could have some safety. They could have some security. Today, Jesse, we went and got a sex offender off the streets here in Portland that had been violating minors, and we're going to bring him to justice. And this Portland mayor tried to brag about him making our streets safer. No, absolutely not. It is our federal CBP and ICE officers that are cleaning up this city, and every single day they're going to stay dedicated to doing that.
So none of these officials thanked you for getting these pedophiles off the street?
They said that they were glad that that was happening, but that they weren't going to change their posture. They're continuing to. Here's the deal, Jesse, is they're more scared of the anarchists that are down on the street right now yelling horrible, horrific threats at our officers than they are of the officers or the people that live in this city. Right next to this building is an apartment building filled with people who deserve to be able to come in and out of their building safely. I asked the mayor, I said, do you get to go home at night and walk from your car into your building and do so safely? Do you get to drive to work and be safe while you do that? I said, those people don't get the opportunity to do that.
The federal government is having to issue an ultimatum to a governor and a mayor of another state. They've lost their way completely lost their way. And the fact that, she flew out there, she was making a statement just by showing up, just by bringing in the National Guard, just doing, I think it was the Texas National Guard that either showed up in Portland or Chicago, and letting everybody know these lower level judges are not going to stop him. They know they have one thing in their back pocket that these people have to be terrified of. And after what we've seen, it may indeed be the time. I wanted to show you this. Let me bring this up over here. Everybody, and I do mean all of the media people, are now talking about this in a big way. And it's terrifying them to no end that they can't possibly stop him. What I'm talking about, obviously, is the Insurrection Act. And I want to bring this up right here. Okay, where's the title? What I'm doing is I'm having to stop this video, because if this video plays, YouTube gets all upset and everything else. So I can't show the video because they'll get upset. All right, so this is what the page looks like, and I got to do that. All right, Trump floats invoking the Insurrection Act. The 1807 law, which allows the military to conduct civilian law enforcement activities under certain circumstances, hasn't been used since the 1992 Los Angeles riots. And I just wanted to show you that because, so it's been used. It doesn't go all the way back to 1807. It doesn't go all the way back to the Civil War and Lincoln. NBC News realizes, we used it in 1992 in the Los Angeles riots. Okay. So even now they're starting to realize, it's been used quite a bit. It's been used over and over to quell disturbances. And I bet you didn't know that. I bet nobody told you that the Insurrection Act has been invoked quite a few times. But in this instance, what they're concerned about is that it's going to be Donald Trump. And Donald Trump will be the one who basically takes control, which is their worst nightmare. Speaking of nightmares, let me see if I can bring this up for you. I wanted to show you this. Today, X isn't working for me. Today, so I can just talk to you. Today, 107 nominations. Now understand, the government's not open. 107 nominations were confirmed en bloc, meaning all at once. They were able to confirm 107 of President Trump's nominees all at once. Bam, 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 bam. Democrats, just all they could do is step back and watch. There was nothing they can do. I mean, the list is huge. Let me see if I can bring them up one at a time on the screen here. Okay, here it is. I can do it this way. Maybe I can do it this way, and this will work. Still working out the kinks here, but I'm getting there. So I can show this to you guys. All right, here we go. Confirmed another 107 nominees of President Trump, all at once, all of them at once. And of course, I'm over here on the side where you can't see me. Give me a second. I don't know how this stuff gets all screwed up the way it did, but in any event, I gotta fix it. So wait 1 second and I will fix it. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I apologize. Barry, it's so unprofessional. You shouldn't have to do this while you're doing a show, but nonetheless, this is what happens when you're doing live. And boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'll get that fixed later. I'll get it fixed later. In any event, here are all of the people who were confirmed. Here's a list of the 107 newly confirmed officials. Neil Jacobs of North Carolina, Undersecretary of Commerce for Oceans and Atmosphere, Todd Wilkins, Assistant Secretary of State, and I'm not going to read all 107 of these, but look at all these people. And in here is United States attorneys, all kinds of people in here got confirmed all at once. 107 of them. Look at all those people. Government shutdown is not stopping Trump whatsoever. Not even this much. 107. So on top of using tariffs to pay for the WIC, women and infant children food, he also got 107 of the backlog of people who the Democrats have been getting in the way. Bam, all at once. I show this to you so you can understand at this point, they can't stop this guy. So I want to go into another thing here in terms of how evil these people are. Well, let's get into this, and I'll take a break after it.
Today, we ask local businesses if they choose to support their people, their community base, or side with the racist and fascist aggressors. We demand that businesses like the Yards Plaza owned by Freeman Properties stop giving immigration authorities access to their parking lots. Stop enabling them to carry out even more terror in our neighborhoods.
At them, but they think they can get people used to the idea. And next year, I fear that what they're going to do is deploy these folks eventually to polling places and say they're protecting the vote. Donald Trump knows that without shenanigans and without these breaches of the Constitution, that he's going to lose the Congress.
Oh, Pritzker, you are so lost. If that were the case, if you think that President Trump, without the shenanigans, is going to lose the Congress, then why the hell are you people screaming so much? What are you trying to do? What you're saying is you can't win. The only thing you can try to do is slow him down. Try to stop his push. Because you feel all the things that President Trump is doing is exposing what needs to be exposed. See, the mayor and governor, mayor of Chicago and the governor of Illinois and the mayor of Portland and the governor of Oregon, they're effed around and now they're finding out and they don't know what to do. So they're running on every single television show they possibly can and they're inciting violence. The woman before him, which they should check her ID, doesn't want businesses allow certain people to park. You got to stop allowing these people to even park in your parking lots. That's how desperate they have become. You're talking about Trump is about to lose because of what's going on, and you're begging business owners to not let people park their trucks? Who looks more at peril in the next election? Who looks like they're going to lose? I don't see Trump trying to stop people from park. In fact, I think he'd want more people to come into a store. Instead of fighting someone who wants to fight crime, why aren't you fighting the crime? Why are you people not allowing the people of Chicago to let you know what they want? I've talked to the ladies from Chicago Flips Red quite a few times. We're going to bring them back on the show, but she's on tonight. I got a video cut of hers. Why aren't you listening to the people? The people will tell you, hey, this is what we need. This is what we don't need. You've turned this into a political football, and there's no way out.
And if he loses, he's going to immediately, in the aftermath of the election, do what he said he might do in 2020, which is use the military to confiscate the ballot boxes and count the votes, claiming that there's fraud. Remember, he's called up all 50 states' election data to the Department of Justice because they want to review all 50 states for fraud.
Is that a bad thing? Is checking for fraud now something we should never do? Oh, that's right. Lisa Cook is on the Federal Reserve, and you shouldn't be looking at her mortgage records. Hey, she committed fraud, but who cares? She's a Democrat. Letitia James has bought, a couple of properties. And she lied on her application, but don't worry about it. She's a Democrat. You're not supposed to look at fraud. And so that was the most ludicrous statement I've ever heard a politician make. I can't believe he's calling the Department of Justice and he's looking for fraud. Well, isn't that the exact job of law enforcement? To make sure that laws are practiced, that we're not operating outside the bounds of laws? You've heard it so many times from people who said that every single judge, every single court shot down all the arguments for President Trump. No, they didn't. No, that didn't happen. They kept using some stupid excuse like standing. But now he doesn't need standing. Now, everything that they get yelled at, everything that they tried to do, which is right there, now Pam Bondi can just go look at. You don't need the petition. Now he's just going to go look at it. And they're starting to fight and push back because they don't want anybody even looking. So when you're talking about desperation, Mr. Pritzker, you're the one who's trying to shield everything from everybody else, even to the point of not wanting people to park in parking lots.
And they won't tell you exactly what they're going to do, but I fear that these are all connected. And this militarization, even without National Guard or military troops on the ground, you're seeing ICE.
The militarization, even without troops on the ground. That's a good one. How does that happen? How do you have militarization without the military? He just said that, not me. He just said all the militarization we're finding out, even with the military not on the ground. Well, what are you talking about? And of course, he's on Rachel Maddow, and these liberal, I call them reporters, these little liberal hosts, never ask the next question. Hey, pump your brakes, bro. What the hell did you just say? Nope, they just let him spew. But it gets better. Oh, it gets much better.
Act like a militaristic organization. You're seeing CBP act like it. One more thing. What we're talking about is authoritarianism. We could have talked about
I just wanted to check my watch. I just wanted to make sure it was October 7th. A couple weeks after somebody was taking shots off of a roof. A couple weeks after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. All kinds of things have been happening, bomb threats. And here is the governor of a major state right back. Immediately goes back to the same playbook. Nazis, authoritarians, fascists. What does that mean to you? If you're watching this and you're hearing these things being said again, what does that mean to you? Well, I'll tell you what it means to me.
We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more. We're going to win more.
You see, one of the things that maybe my athletic former football playing background is if I can dictate to you what plays you can and can't call, I own you. If you feel like, we just can't run this ball here because these guys up front are killing us, we got to stop. And we can't keep doing this because it's not working. I am now dictating to you what is and what you can and can't do. And then you're making it easier when you decide it's 3rd and 3 and you just hand it and run up the middle. You're waving a white flag saying, I have no play in my playbook to answer that defense. In other words, you're telling me you're losing. The fact that Pritzker and so many of them haven't seen all the polls, haven't seen what's happened, haven't seen him win the election. What's your play? Oh, he's a Nazi. That's it. You already lost with that play. Why would you continue running it? It doesn't work. You need something new. And President Trump today said there are no Democrat leaders. See, a leader would sit back and understand, this isn't working. We need to do this. There is no leader that continues to lead you into a defeat. And right now, Pritzker and many of the other ones are doing the exact same thing. It's Nazis, it's fascists, it's homophobes, xenophobes. Look, dude, we played that. We played that game. You can't compete with us using the same old script. That's probably why President Trump is having so much success. It doesn't take somebody who's got a huge IQ when you know your opponent can't do anything. They're falling over themselves. They're literally throwing up on themselves. Nazis? Really?
Pot. We could have talked about authoritarians across history. I chose something I know very well. I helped to build a Holocaust museum. And what I know is, in the early days of the Nazi regime, they started slowly but surely taking away people's rights.
First of all, you're comparing Trump and MAGA again to Nazis. Second of all, on one of the worst commemorative days on the Jewish calendar right now, you're talking and comparing what's happening to the Democrats to the Holocaust. Anybody else you want to insult? I mean, just let me know. You seem to be doing pretty well on your own here. But JB, just continue, because I'm sure this is a winning strategy. Insult half the country, and then, of course, whatever people who wear yarmulkes, let's go ahead and insult them too and compare what Trump's doing to the Holocaust. I want to know who the strategist is who got paid 6 figures to give this idea. What do we do about Trump? Well, let's keep calling him a Nazi. You think it'll work? Maybe. Hasn't worked yet, but I get paid.
And what we're seeing now is the very same thing. They've gone into cities now with the military. Think about that. In your lifetime, have you ever seen anything like that?
Yes, I have. In fact, NBC News, which is why I showed it to you, NBC News said they've seen it too. Yes, my father was in the National Guard, and in 1968, he had to go out and do all kinds of stuff to quell the riots. NBC just said 1992 it was called out for, the Los Angeles riots. Because for some reason, hood rats can't keep themselves, to themselves. They got to burn stuff. So have we ever seen it? The person who he's talking to, who is JB, yeah, I've seen it. You've seen it? Mm-hmm. I've seen it. I think a lot of people have seen it, JB. What in the hell are you talking about? You can only make those statements when you know the person you're talking to isn't going to challenge you on it.
Where the President of the United States is sending military or troops dressed as military, ICE and CBP, in camouflage with automatic weapons into our major cities. It's wrong. And indeed, especially at a time when it's the President of the United States who's causing the mayhem on the ground. We've actually done very well in Chicago bringing...
Yeah, we've actually done very well. We only had, checks notes, only 30 people got shot this weekend. But hey, it's in the hood, so we don't care. He said that while he was smiling. He was smiling to the fact that we've done pretty good. 2 weeks ago, 50 people got shot. We only had 35 last weekend, 40. Who's counting? They're all black. I don't care.
Down crime, addressing the needs of victims. He's the one taking funding away from law enforcement, taking funding away from victims, taking money away from community violence intervention. I mean, who is it here that's standing up for the rights of our people?
Not you. I wish I knew who it was he was talking to. I'd ask Ashley to reach out to them and go, how did you do this interview? Every time this guy said something, I'd be like, ooh. Yeah, go ahead. What's better? Oh, only 35 people, 40 shot. Oh, okay. Who's standing up for the rights of the people? Oh, wait a minute. Let me rephrase that. Who's standing up for the rights of Americans? Different question. Completely different question. That's a question, the only question the media should be asking. Are you doing this for the benefit of Americans, citizens, Americans on the ground in your city? Are you doing it for their benefit? Any other answer doesn't even matter. Let me ask you a question, Mr. Pritzker. What was your idea in case, your buddies who shut down the government, how are you going to feed all these women and infant children in your area who had no money for food? What was your plan? Oh, you don't have one. I don't know, Portland? I don't know if there's a large contingency of people, Americans, who have children who don't work and they need us to pay for it. What was your plan in case these people didn't get any food? Oh, none. Wow. So can you rephrase what you just said, please, about you taking care of people?
Isn't it those of us who are actually protecting the people of Illinois and not the President of the United States, who has got an entire playbook for how he's going to win the 2026 elections by militarizing U.S. cities?
So what they're doing right now is they know they've lost. And so they're building a narrative so that they can say in November, yeah, we lost because they did this to us. This is complete loser speak. I lean on my athletic background. Nobody ever went into a game that I know personally or have ever watched where they went into the game and said, well, you know what? They're going to do this to us. They're going to score like 4 or 5 touchdowns, and we're probably going to lose because, our quarterback, he's hurt. I don't care if we've had a guy down, if it was a quarterback or a wide receiver or whatever. You never go into the game thinking you're going to lose and then blame somebody else for, it was a bad hit. They're already making excuses, and the reason they're making excuses and the reason these people are so evil is because they know psychologically what they're doing. They're conditioning, classic conditioning, almost like they're doing it to animals. So that when people see them lose in 2026, they can blame it on all this other stuff. It's got nothing to do with our ineptitude and our crazy ideology. It's Trump. It's always Trump. That's what they're doing. You can't let that happen. You need to start telling people right now they're laying a foundation to trick you. They already know. They're toast. There's nothing they can do. So here it is in October of 2025. We have an entire year until the midterms, and they're already laying the foundation to tell their idiots why they lost. And that reason is, it's Trump.
You can't see the indictment of Comey, the cancellation of Kimmel, the troops in Chicago as different events. They are all part of the same story.
They're right. He is 100% right. It is all a part of the same story. Theirs. See, what he didn't show you here, because it says the plan, he really meant our plan. And you can look at these things here and go, this is what we're going to do to Americans over the next 12 months. 1, we're going to say that President Trump converted the justice system into a political witch hunt operation. That's what we're going to say. 2, we're going to say that President Trump attacked the free press and he replaced it with a state-run media. 3, President Trump militarized law enforcement to stop the election and make you people to be his loyal subjects. 4, he seized control of the money and nobody was able to eat. He got caught here. See, that they had this plan before 3 p.m. today. Number 4, seized control of government spending and taxation. We're going to come back to that in a second. And number 5, rigged the rules. All right, let's talk about number 4, seize control of government spending. And the second part is like, what? And taxation. That scares them. That, I just got to show it to you again. That is what Howard Lutnick was talking about, and that's their biggest fear. He put it on a sign. Seize control of government spending and taxation. So now you're sitting back, Barry, what are you talking about? All right, go back to what Howard Lutnick said. We were so rich, we didn't even have income taxes. We had tariffs. He seized control of taxation. That must make their depends run squishy. They can't tax you. They can't do anything about the spending. The government shut down. He doesn't care. You can stay out. We're going to start laying people off. We're going to start doing all kinds of different things. And now that he put it on a flipping sign. I'm not making it up. It's right there. Seize control. He could have left the second part off, but he put it on there on purpose. And taxation. Why is taxation so important to Democrats? Because they don't get any money, and they need to be able to funnel your money all different places. And this idiot went and put it on a sign. I can't believe Trump took over taxes. Who the hell is he to take over taxes? That's our money. We were so rich, we didn't need taxes. That's coming. They know it.
They're all part of a plan, a well thought out plan to try to destroy American democracy and create a new set of rules that will allow Trump and his allies to rule forever. I know this sounds extreme. It is. But if you connect the dots, if you allow yourself to see the whole story, the totality of this story.
I can see it. You can see it. Because that's their plan. Trump's in the way. Every single one of those things they would do to us, President Trump is stopping them from doing it to us. You can just go down the line here. Number one, they're the ones who have talked about stacking the court over and over and over. Number two, they're the ones who want to take away your ability to even make memes on social media. Number three, and if you don't, they'll roll it down the street and rip you out your house. You think I'm wrong? Look at the videos of what they did when, that jabademic thing was happening. Number four, oh yeah, they would definitely tax you out the wazoo and take complete control of government spending. And number five, well, we lived through 2020, so we already know what number five says. So as you're looking at that, you realize that's the Democrat ideology. They're mad because they're not able to execute their game plan. That's their game plan. That's the plan they've had in their pocket for years. We're going to make sure people can't talk on social media. We're going to make sure you can't say certain words. We're going to make sure that we tax you until you're blue in the face. We're going to make sure that you take this jab. We're going to make sure and make sure and make sure. And now they can't do any of that. And they don't know what to do. And besides all that, they're leaderless. Newsom, he ain't going to be able to fix it. Hillary's done. Kamala sounds drunk. Already loser. They're trying to find their way, and they're trying to find the narrative to get people to believe that their plan, which is all of that, but it sounds different, and they're putting it probably a different color ink, but that's exactly what they've been doing. There is nothing on that chart that they haven't already said this is where we're going to go. If there's anybody here watching who might need some edification, let them know. They were going to sock the court. I mean, put more judges on there. They were going to eliminate the free press. You remember Nina from the czar of disinformation? That's their game plan. Trump got in the way. And now they're like, well, he's doing it.
You will see the grave danger that we are in.
The word is, and I think it's been confirmed by the White House, they are going to transfer Texas National Guard units to the state of Illinois. What's the rationale for that?
Yeah, Chairman, as you shut down the government, you voted to shut down the government, and you're sitting here, our law enforcement officers aren't being paid. They're out there working to protect you. I wish you loved Chicago as much as you hate President Trump. And currently, the National Guard are on the way to Chicago. If you're not going to protect your citizens, President Trump will.
You see, there's going to be many people who saw what happened today and not want to have that talked about. She came armed for bear. Ken Dilanian, I believe that's his name, the MSNBC deep state talking head, he was upset. He said they weren't prepared for the onslaught that she brought to them. And here's why. I've been telling you, they're playing the old playbook. When you play the old playbook and you haven't watched this week's or this year's game films, you're looking at stale milk. This isn't your daddy's Republican Party because it's not really the Republican Party, it's MAGA. And MAGA is showing these Democrats, we're here to fight back. We are no longer going to be the Washington Generals. We are not going to let you dictate to us. We are going to hit you back every single time as hard as possible. So if you think you're going to intimidate us, that ain't going to happen. If you think you're going to browbeat us, that ain't going to happen. We're here to clap back. And hopefully you guys are too. Let me take a break and talk to you about the MAGA sneakers, and I'll be right back. We'll take some comments. You ever see something and think to yourself, yeah, that's me. I got to have that. That's exactly how I felt when I first saw the Trump Never Surrender gold sneakers. Now, I know some of you have seen the high tops I've shown you before, but let's be real, high tops aren't for everybody. That's why I'm just as pumped about these new low-profile sneakers. They're more casual, more wearable, but yet just as bold. Sneakers you can throw on every day and still make a statement. And trust me, these aren't just shoes. These are conversation starters. The gold shine, the red, white, and blue accents, you're literally wearing your American pride on your feet. And let me tell you, nothing shuts down a woke lecture faster than walking in with these bad boys on your feet. But here's the thing, they don't just look good, they feel good. They're very comfortable, they're durable, they're lightweight. These aren't the kind of sneakers you're just going to leave in a box in your closet. So toss out your dusty old worn out sneakers that you've been wearing holes in and get yourself a pair of these bad boys. The best part, that message, never surrender. Every time you put these on, it's a reminder. Stand strong, don't back down, and keep fighting for what you believe in. They also make the perfect gift. We all know someone who'd flip out if they unwrap these. Whether they're a diehard Trump supporter, a collector, or just someone tired of wearing the same shoes as 20 other people in the room. Head to themagaoffers.com/Barry15. That's the THEMAGA offers.com/Barry15. Use that link for up to 15% off your entire order today. All right, so let me take a few comments from you guys. The Democrat skeletons are coming out of the closet. They're exposed and they don't like it. Not at all. Not at all. Oh, somebody goes, how about the fanfare hat, please? Yep. Tomorrow we're going to start giving these things away for sure. What else we got here? So let me go through some of this. All the Democrats can do from media, Congress representatives, and senators puke the same words. Only one person writes their speeches. It seems like it's the same old stuff over and over. The deep state is panicking. Yes, indeed. The title of today's video, I titled it, where's my image here so I can show it to you? Yes. The title is The Reckoning is Coming. And if you're not sure, I'm sure many of you go to church and you understand reckoning. It's the same thing in terms of the definition. It's a judgment. It is accountability. It's time for you to face the music. It's your come to Jesus moment. And what we're seeing, and it's becoming more and more apparent, and it starts tomorrow. I don't know if they're going to let us have any film of it because I can't wait to see that James Comey is going to be arraigned. The game starts tomorrow. I hope you guys are ready. I'll check at the end of this show and see if there's going to be another, we'll see him walk in and get perp walked. I wish they had kicked in the door of his house like they did other people, but nonetheless, it starts tomorrow. The reckoning is coming. I truly feel that at this point. You can just feel there's something weird bumps on your skin. You can actually feel it. I hope you can feel it. Watching Pam Bondi today, I could feel it. And I could see the look in their eyes as she came back at them. And just one after the other, including Adam Schiff. The feeling she must have, the feeling President Trump must have, Stephen Miller, everybody else, knowing full well your opponent can't stop you. The reason why they're having all this trouble in the street is because they're hoping that stops it. They figure if there's enough uprising and people doing crazy stuff, that'll stop it. But the powerless ones can't do anything. Especially when you have people like this that are trying to get in Trump's way.
I am a mayor, but I'm also a Christian. I pray for Donald Trump. His soul.
That's where they're going? After all the other stuff didn't work, this is where they go? Hi, I'm a Christian. I hope people moved away from the podium and didn't see the lightning bolt coming. I pray for Donald Trump's soul. Really? So there's a new one we got to put in the playbook. Claim you're a Christian and you're praying for Trump's soul. That's a new one. Hadn't heard that one yet.
He's lost. And that's why it's important that we help find a way to protect our democracy and our humanity. That's what I'm motivated by. Not some brittle, insecure human being who has expressed a degree of lawlessness that would make Vladimir Putin blush.
How sad is this? I know some of you guys are like, oh, bless him up, because oh my gosh, now you've reached that fork in the road. Hey, let's use Christianity against him. Pray for his soul or something. After everything this guy has said, after everything this guy has done, how he has badgered President Trump, how he has badgered MAGA, for him to now come out and go, I'm a Christian. I pray for his soul. He's lost. Lightning bolts flying all around Chicago right now. You might as well just take out a little flag, a little white flag, and go, we're done. We're done. That's it? Now.
Well, the real Chicagoans that I talk to, that I communicate with, mostly black and brown, actually.
Look at his eyes. This guy's, I don't want to be out here in front of the press any more than I have to. And so one of the reporters comes at him pretty hard here. It got so bad, you'll hear one of his aides are like, hey, stop, can you please stop? But just look at his face. He's terrified. Which is contrary to the Christian message he just said a second ago. Dude, what are you freaked out about? You should be at peace. Have joy.
Tell me that you don't seem to know the difference between illegal aliens and real Chicago citizens. They feel that you are siding with the illegal aliens over them in their communities. And okay. Sadly...
William, let's get to the question.
Let's get to the question. The real question is simply this. I don't know how to make it any more direct. An illegal alien from Nicaragua grabbed a woman on the north side last week, bashed her head into the sidewalk, knocked her unconscious.
The guy keeps saying, you got a question? Because he looks like he's ready to run off stage. He looks like Snagglepuss. He's about to exit stage left. He can't take it. And the guy hasn't even got to the question yet.
Raped her. If that had been your wife, Stacey.
Okay, all right, we're not going to answer that. Thank you. Thanks, Wes.
If you want ICE to deport her?
All right, let's move on.
Yes or no?
Let's move on.
Answer the question as a man, not as mayor, but as a man. Would you want
Thank you.
ICE to deport that rapist?
All right, Taman.
Okay, Mayor. That's the answer. That's the answer for real Chicago.
Mayor, sorry for being late. The traffic's bad. Maybe the feds could help.
You're not blaming me for the traffic, are you, Taman? Watch it.
That's bad. Now, you guys have seen Danny from Chicago Flips Red. When they keep saying that there's no black people from the area who want to see Trump do stuff. And her coalition is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And she's been seeing on the ground, up close and personal, what's been going on in Chicago. Notice, none of the other networks, CNN, MSNBC, CBS, AB, none of them talk to the people on the ground. In fact, that Caroline Leavitt at the last press conference yesterday yelled at Caitlin Collins and said, why don't you get off your ass and go into the street? You got a camera crew. Go out and talk to the people. What are you hiding from? Because it's almost like plausible deniability. If I don't talk to people, then I can say the crap I say on television. Because once I talk to people, then I have to report what the people are actually saying. She could at any time bring Danny on her show. At any time.
So, just this weekend alone, we had 47 people shot. 13 people died. Meanwhile, your Hispanic aldermen are inciting and calling for the violence of ICE officers. Now, mind you, these same aldermen, Jesse Fuentes is being the very vocal one. They didn't even want none of those illegal alien shelters in their ward. They voted and they placed all those illegal alien shelters in our neighborhoods. So let me tell you something, residents. You might as well, that building on 75th and South Shore Drive, you might as well get ready. Because more of those raids are definitely going to happen. You know why? Because all of those Trinidad gang members, the cartel, all of those people were allowed to come into your community.
You notice what she's doing differently. I love this video because she wasn't talking to me. She wasn't talking to you. She wasn't talking to politicians. She's not talking to the news. She's talking to people who live right there. And I've never seen that perspective. Many people do TikToks and everything else, but I never see them talk specifically to their community. I'm telling you, you people on 5th Street, you people on 9th Street, and I thought, wow, I've never seen that perspective. Let me know in the chat if you've ever seen it, but she knows her audience and she knows her city, and she's like, I'm talking to these people. I'm not going to try and talk on Fox News. She's been on Fox News. She's talking specifically to the people who live there, who know exactly what she's talking about and where she's talking about. And she's got the actual numbers. You know, we didn't know that. I didn't know that the actual number of people who were shot and died. She knows it. They live there. Hey, Caitlin, you want to talk to somebody who actually lives there? Or you just want to stand in a press conference and say whatever you want?
And get into those buildings that, you live in with your kids. And guess what? You're paying for it. Brandon Johnson, your alderman at J.D. Pritzker, yes, they strategically placed them all in our communities. And so now we are dealing with the consequences of their actions. We are dealing with the consequences of what we allowed to happen in our community. We allowed this. We've been very vocal. We've been down there in City Hall for 2 years trying to warn you all about that. As a matter of fact, the first thing I talked about when I first went down there is about all these illegal aliens that were saturated in our community. And that was 2 years ago. We allowed that. We allowed this invasion to come into our communities because we didn't say anything. Your elected officials, Brandon Johnson, your aldermen, use your tax dollars to put illegal alien gang members in your community, in your buildings, and to make sure their rent was paid up, that they didn't need any food, that everything they needed was paid for by you. So residents, especially the Black Americans, the Black Chicagoans, buckle up, get ready, because they're coming back. They're all on the south side. They're all on the west side. Inglewood, taking over Inglewood. So you might as well just, buckle up. And then let me say this. The fact that you all are mad because ICE have to come in to clean this mess up, which should have never happened. The fact that you all are saying that you are traumatized, yet you wasn't traumatized or are not traumatized at the fact that your elected officials place Trinity Agua gang members in your community, in your buildings, and paid for it. If you're not traumatized by all the mass shootings that happen almost every weekend, if you're not traumatized about all the people that die every day, about all the funerals that we have to go to, all the loved ones, all our kids that we have been burying, if you're not...
I had to stop her there because she's talking about something, again, looking in the camera, talking to people in that area. Again, a bit of emotion that none of us can touch. She's like, you've been to the funerals. I've been to the funerals. She's talking directly to those people who have endured this crap that's going on in their own neighborhoods, and she's letting them know it doesn't have to be this way. These people have done this to you. How many of your friends, loved ones, family that you've had to put in the ground for no other reason that they get caught in crossfire? And now this is your life. This is what you have to look forward to because you let this happen with these politicians. And I'm like, wow, this is so emotional.
I'm traumatized about all the carjackings, all the robberies that's allowed to run rapid in our communities. If you're not traumatized by all the millions of dollars that Brandon Johnson, Governor Pritzker, get for crime prevention, yet no crime is being prevented while telling you crime is down. If you're not traumatized by that, but you're traumatized about the fact that the federal government have to come in and get those people up out of your communities and neighborhoods, which should have never been there in the first place. Even now, your elected officials are still calling for violence. All of this didn't have to happen. Those 50,000 and even more illegal aliens didn't have to be in our communities, but they allowed that because they wanted to steal the money. And even now, they can just stop all of this. They can say, okay, ICE, we are going to work with you and let you come into the jails and get the criminals, which Tom Homan had asked plenty of times to do that before this even happened. And they deny him. And you have law enforcement that Brandon Johnson is telling them to stand down, to not even arrest these terrorists that's committing these crimes on federal officers and things like that. When was the last time that your elected official, your Democratic Party, told the law enforcement to stand down on you?
That might be the most powerful statement in the video. They now have on tape that the chief or whoever, controller of the watch, whatever, told other policemen, stand down, don't go. And then she just asked such a poignant question. When's the last time they said stand down on you? No, they haul your ass off right away. But the guys there who were there to help the people in Chicago, they're like, we're not going to come. Oops. And that had to stir some people who's had their friends or relatives arrested and taken off. They didn't stand down against them. They came and picked them up, which they should if they did something. But the contrast that she's making is huge. They're telling it's okay, let this stuff happen, but let's go ahead and put the heavy hand of the law on you people.
When? But yet, they're telling them to stand down to protect illegal alien gang members, illegal aliens that came here and not vetted. And you all are mad because Trump had to do the job that your elected officials refused to do. And they supposed to work for you, the American citizens. And this is what happens when you don't hold your elected officials accountable. You allow them to do anything they want to do. You blindly vote for them without asking for anything. This is what happens. You have gang members put strategically in your communities.
Okay, so I had to stop her there. You had gang members strategically put in your communities. So now she's taking that to a whole nother level. I got to ask her that question. Are you saying, Danny, that the politicians in Chicago that knew that the gang members were coming, they put them in certain areas strategically? You just heard her say that. I was shocked when I heard that. No one's going to talk about that above the community level. No one's going to know. We're not going to know. We don't live there. None of the news stations are going to know. That was a... Wait a second. They put them in strategic areas? Can you actually prove that? Can you show us? Ashley, if you're talking, that's going to make a whole interview. What do you mean they strategically drop these people in certain areas? For what purpose? Whew. Hope she's got security.
While you already have high crime. So, because your elected officials are trying their best to protect your replacement, don't cry, don't get mad. If Trump if he have to declare martial law or send in the military, because your elected officials are still inciting violence on federal officers, don't get mad. Because what he's doing is cleaning up our communities that the Democratic Party in Chicago have allowed and orchestrated to happen in our community, in our neighborhoods.
Ooh, wow, wow. That's what they need in these areas. That's what they need in Portland. That's what they needed in Washington and Baltimore and Cleveland and Detroit and wherever else, Memphis. It's got to start at the local level. People can't parachute in who don't know what's going on. Those are the ears and eyes on the ground. People like Danny who can say, oh, they're over there. They're in that building right there. Oh, yeah, they got put there. Yep, that's where they at. Oh, there's some over in this one, too. Oh, they're looking at you right now up on the third floor of that building. That's what we need. We need people who can tell the people like Kristi Noem, here's what's going on. This is what you need to understand. Now, I was going to go on with just let you know, tomorrow I'm going to restart the Rumble jump overs. I finally have everything set up so I can do that. So tomorrow we'll jump over to Rumble and we'll do some music and have some fun. Maybe we'll do a movie night tomorrow night. We'll see. But SV says I got to play this. So it's more of the interview with Kristi Noem and Jesse Waters. I haven't seen this. I'm just going to go by my boy SV who says you got to show it. It's fire. All right, let's listen to it, SV.
The city of Portland was just paid a very special visit by the Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem. She rolled into Rip City and inspected Antifa's mini Confederacy and then picked up a migrant, Chris Hansen style.
No, not let you out. You're under arrest. You're under arrest. You waited until we detained you. So now you will be removed from this country and never given the chance to come back.
The heat must be getting to them because we're noticing dissension in the Antifa rank.
SV, Yeah, I was like, don't show me something that is going to get me in trouble with YouTube. Dude, if you're seeing this stuff, that'll get you in trouble on YouTube. So maybe I'll have to save that for tomorrow when we do the jump over, because I can't show that. I'm serious. If I show that, ding, 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 all the bells and whistles go off. They don't like seeing law enforcement doing their job. They wouldn't even like the fact that that guy was shown talking to Kristi Noem. Man, maybe I should just do it. Am I ready? Should I just do a jump over right now so we can just continue? I don't think I have everything in place here. Otherwise, I would. Oh, yeah, wait a second. Y'all up for a Rumble jump over so I can show this whole video? Maybe we can do that. I've got the banner there. So let me do super chats, and we'll try to do a jump over and play this whole video. How about that? SV want to go ahead and get me in trouble and stuff. Whew. I trusted you, bro. I trusted you. I can't believe you got me like that, man. I don't think we're prepared. I'll save it for tomorrow. Everyone's like, go jump. All right, so we're going to jump. SV, you got me like that. All right, so those of you who haven't been here before, what happened? No, you can't even do that. Wait a minute. Don't look at that banner. Hold on a second. I'm all discombobulated here. I'm not ready to do the jump over because I haven't configured the link, and then people won't know to find the link. You know what? Give me a second here. I will play this music and try to get everything put together so I can jump over there. Give me. This is 3 minutes. Yeah, give me 3 minutes.
Somewhere to be every night of the week. Seems God ain't close as he used to be. And there's more tequila in this old town than pines in Tennessee. I ain't the man I thought I'd be. And these neon lights that keep me up got me thinking maybe mom and dad had it right all along. We're too old to still be alone, and we ain't happy ever after all. I'm just saying it wouldn't be as bad, 'cause we made it out living in our hometown. You find a girl and get married before you're 20. But I've been running like a southbound train, as fast as a northern summer with no one to love. And it's making me wonder if maybe mom and dad had it right all along, and we're too old to still be alone, and we ain't happy ever after all. No, I'm just saying it wouldn't be as bad as we made it out living in our hometown. Don't overdrink it. If you find love, don't overthink it. Just find yourself a good one, and don't you let it go. That's what they told.
All right, so I did get it set up. So if you click on that button, you should be able to go right to the page with the video. And then I don't have any music queued up, so we'll just play Jesse Waters' video after I do Super Chats. Ashley, I got your message. I was able to put it together on the fly. I can do that stuff on the fly. I got those kind of skills. But no music ready, so that'll be tomorrow. But might as well practice a new system, make sure everything is working so we don't mess up. Alrighty, so let me look at Super Chats and then we'll jump over. So hopefully you guys are getting over there. Let me just make sure this window is working. I gotta fix my windows because they're not sized correctly for what I want to do. And now I can do this here. All right, here we go. Al Phelps, thank you. Lucy O'Connor, I've said for decades that we need a businessman for President Trump. For President, thank you, President Trump. Lou Jack Martinez, thank you. Beautiful brilliance of thinking outside the DC box, for sure. Lou Jack again, tariff treasure is real brilliant leadership. Izzy, just got my Bible. Congratulations. I hope you love it. Bunch more going out this week. Lou Jack, man, you're all over the place. Leadership 101, Professor Trump's classes in session. Scott Presler, focus on independence, midterms. Yep. Lou Jack again. Rubio Vance 2028. Thank you, Lou Jack. Larry 1754. I love Studio 3. Love the different backdrops. Thank you very much. Diane Kelly, love the studio and different looks, and you would love to know how. I would love to know how to get that. Send me an email. I'll tell you how. Love this and all the looks. Would love to get it. Lou Jack, love to get a hat. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, they're coming out tomorrow. Lou Jack, this Harvard man loves Professor Cunningham. Thank you. Fume Drummer, can we get Beetlejuice back? He's talking about the old mayor of Chicago. Lisa Frampton, show me you're a 5D chess boss without saying you're a 5D chess boss. President Trump, hold my golf club, for sure. I'm waiting for Trump is the Antichrist card next. It's coming probably. And every point you made tonight, Barry, was 110% spot on. Well, thank you very much. All right, so the way it works here is I'm going to play 90 seconds of music, and then when poof, we'll be over on Rumble. No music, we'll just jump into the bad Jesse Waters video that SV sent me. So let's see here. Let's do this.